Welcome to episode 87 of the Driftless Knitting podcast. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Driftless Knitter. You can find the podcast on Ravelry if you search for Driftless Knitting under the groups tab. We have a knit along going on right now there, although admittedly I am terrible at hosting knit alongs, and apologies if that thread has just been it's been a little quiet. For those of you who are knitting shawls, because it is a shawl knit along for 3 of my DK weight shawl patterns. The Harvest shawl, which just came out I think in October, right? I wanted to say last month, but it's already December, so it came out in October. There's the Ode to Autumn shawl, which came out last October, and there's the Riverbank shawl, which came out in September. So a couple of really fun shawl projects there. I know a couple people are knitting for it, so if you do want to participate and want to check out those patterns, go and do that. There is a coupon code that is still live. I think it's live through the end of December, and I'll check on that, but I'm pretty sure you can get one of those patterns for 20% off if you use code Driftless Knitting Cal, or Driftless Shawl Cal. Yes, Driftless Shawl Cal. You can get one of those 3 patterns 20% off, so go check those out. If you want to purchase one, that's awesome. And if you want to knit along, that'd be great. There's going to be some prize drawings. It goes, the shawl cal goes until the end of December, like through the new year. It'll probably be like the first week of January before I get around to closing the thread, so you've got some time. Speaking of time and the month, it is December 8th, Sunday, at about a little after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm coming to you from Cross Plains, Wisconsin, which is just north of Madison, and yeah, I've got a lot to show you today, a lot to talk about. I will say that I am doing Vlogmas this year, so if you are subscribed to my channel, you probably get notifications, or you see at least on your subscription lineup that I have a Vlogmas, a daily kind of video blog that I'm doing. This is my 3rd year, I think, doing Vlogmas, and it's really fun. Some days it's a little harder to get footage than others, and other days, like, I film stuff and I'm like, is anyone actually really gonna be interested in this? But thank you to all of you who have been watching and commenting. It's been great to kind of see the participation on those videos as well. And you get a little sneak peek into what my daily life is like. It's nothing super exciting, so yeah. But just sort of normal stuff, some looks at what I do for my work, my family life here at home, Christmas, doing traditions for Christmas, so it's kind of fun to do that and record that. So for what's been going on daily and for what I've been up to over the last few weeks, you can go check out that podcast. I'm not going to talk too much about my everyday life or what's been going on in today's episode, because I do have a lot to show you. So, and I don't want this to be too long of an episode. I have been filming a lot. It does take a lot out from your kind of routine when you have to think about making sure you get footage or doing something and thinking, oh, that would be really good for the vlog, so I should film that. And it just sort of takes a little bit longer to do everything if you're also filming it at the same time. But it is fun, and that's why I do it every year. I'm drinking some coffee. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, really, so I don't even think, like, cup as in mug. And I don't think I've even finished that, so I need a little pick-me-up this afternoon. I stayed up quite late knitting last night, so yeah, I'm a little bit more tired today, but I've had a good productive day off, so that's really great. This is my only day off this week, so I'm trying to make it count. And you can see behind me I have some sort of festive decorations. This is a fake a fake garland. It's the leftovers from the garland that is on the staircase. We have that lit up, and then we have a garland kind of along the top of our kitchen area, the wall, the half wall that separates the kitchen from the living room down here. And yeah, my little snowman, I love that guy. And a few decorative stockings. Those aren't like our real stockings, but they were handmade. I got them at a craft show a couple years ago, and I just like the look of them. They look so vintagey. And someday when we get like well, we probably wouldn't put those on a mantle because we'd put our real stockings on the mantle, but I like how, I don't know, I like how cute they are and sort of vintage country, you know, shabby chic kind of a look. Yeah, and then you can kind of see there's this weird pile of stuff over here. That's actually our Christmas tree. We do put up a fake Christmas tree. We live in a apartment, and I don't know if this apartment specifically has rules against real Christmas trees, but I do know some apartment complexes don't want you to have a real one because of the fire hazard. So, and just, you know, it kind of it's like written into some leases. So we never really checked, but I had that Christmas tree from my past apartment, so brought it with me when Seaver and I moved in together, and then we've been putting it up ever since we've lived together. So this is our fourth Christmas living together, I think. Yes, yeah, it will be. Yeah, fourth Christmas together. No, third Christmas living together. Oh my God, I can't remember. No, it's okay. Sorry, I'm just like, I can't even remember how long we've been together. So it's our fourth Christmas living together, and we will be together 5 years total in February. So we moved in like a year, just after a year dating, and yeah, and the rest is history. So, all right, now that you've gotten a good look at some festive stuff, let's get into the podcast. I am going to show you, let's see, a couple finished objects. I feel like I have more finished objects than this, but for some reason I can't remember. Oh, my hat. I totally forgot about my hat. I should go grab that too. Yeah, because it's been a few weeks, I can't remember what I finished and what I showed you and didn't show you. So apologies if there's something that I was working on, I've now finished and I'm not showing it here. But I'm gonna go grab my hat. If I can find my hat. Where did it go? Ah. Okay. All right, I'm wearing my Baseball Hall of Fame sweatshirt. It's the coziest sweatshirt I own. It's so, so nice. Okay, so the first things first, I finished this pair of socks. You saw them on the needles last time, and this is a pair of socks that I knit for my sister for Christmas. She has mentioned that she would wear a pair of hand knit socks, so I'm really excited to have somebody else to knit socks for. I love my hand knit socks and I wear them a lot. This season I've been wearing them all the time, almost every day. The only days I don't is when I wear my tennis shoes, my sneakers to work, and those are usually when I'm in the dye studio. My feet get too hot in my sneakers for some reason, but in my boots and my regular shoes that I wear when I'm kind of more on the retail side of things, I wear my hand knit socks. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of use out of them, but still it's kind of nice to have someone else to knit for, because socks are one of my favorite things to do. So these are the Hermione's Everyday, and you can kind of see that textured pattern on the top of the foot and on the leg, and I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Ooh, the lighting just got really weird. That's pretty close to exactly what they look like. So I'm happy with that rendition. But yeah, I don't know why it went all funny just then. I do them toe up, and I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I was guessing a little bit with the sizing, She has larger feet than me, but not by a whole lot. But I did go up to 64 stitches where I knit mine with 56. And I knit a couple, I would say an extra inch or so for the foot before I started the heel. And I did make the heel a tiny bit deeper than I maybe would on mine, because I don't want the instep. I'm not sure how big of an instep she has, and I didn't want it to be tight. Even though I don't want them to be loose, obviously, I'd almost rather have them have a little bit more room to them than have them be like not being able to get over her foot and not actually fitting the length of her foot. So I'm really, really hoping that these are good. This colorway is the 2018 Christmas at Hogwarts colorway from A Homespun House, and it's on her 80/20 merino nylon sock base, which is my favorite. I love an 80/20 sock base. I love and like a 2-ply, like a bouncy 2-ply. It's my absolute favorite, and I loved knitting this colorway. I like the kind of magenta purple and the little pops of gold and green. Maybe it's because I was doing the Hermione's everyday pattern, but this colorway reminds me a lot of Hermione, and like the purple. And I don't know if she wears a lot of purple in the movies or something, and that's why it just brings that to mind, but it's almost like a background of Hermione and the little pops of Christmas, the gold and the green. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed making these, and I hope they fit my sister, and I hope she likes them. Yeah, so they're all blocked, they're washed, they're ready to go. I just have to wrap this up with, I also got her a little something else, so I gotta start wrapping. I know it's only the 8th of December, but I feel like this next couple weeks are just gonna fly by. There's quite a few things going on. I have some more Christmas knitting, gift knitting to do, and yeah, I just need to focus. I thought I was being super like prepared and over prepared, and I was gonna get all this stuff done in November, and I did get quite a bit of like Christmas knitting done, but I still have to order presents for other people. Just a few. I mean, I don't have to buy for too many other people, but it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about that yet. I've just been thinking about the crafting side, but there's other people that I'm not making gifts for that I should probably order a couple things. But oh well, just gotta make a list, keep reminding myself so it's not the week before Christmas and I'm frantically trying to order things. But yeah, or shopping around here too. That just takes so much more time. But my second finished object is another project that you saw last time on the needles. And this is my Autumn Spice hat. This is my pattern. You can see oh, again, it gets too close and then the color goes all funky. There we go. It doesn't like that. So it has like a broken rib, like a seated broken rib in there, and it's just the most squishy, wonderful texture. I love knitting these hats. This is probably like my 8th one that I've done because it's just such a fun knit and it fits and it looks good on like everybody. So yeah, so this is mine. I knit one for Seaver. I've knit 2 for Seaver. The first one got lost somewhere, I don't know where, and then he wanted another one, so I knit that one, and he wears that a lot. And I sometimes, when I don't want like a slouchy hat, I will sometimes steal his. So I didn't want to do that all the time. I wanted one of my own. So yeah, so I had this skein of worsted weight Savvy Skeins? Is it Savvy? Yeah, I think it is Savvy Skein yarn. I don't know why that doesn't like sound right now that I say it out loud. But this is an older colorway that she had. I don't think that she sells it anymore, and it's called His Flannel. I got this as a Christmas present quite a few years ago, and I just loved the color. I like, it kind of reminds me of like a buffalo plaid in a sense, but I love the like speckliness of it too. So when I started the hat, obviously I had a smaller needle for the brim, and it did this like super cool flashing at the bottom. And then when I went up a needle size, or it goes up 2 needle sizes actually, from a 7 to a 9, when I went up to the 9, it started like micro striping instead. So that was cool too. I don't think I'll mind so much that it sort of breaks there and starts doing something else. And then when I started decreasing for the top, it started flashing again. So kind of interesting. Like I said, I don't mind. I haven't really worn it too much because I don't know, lately I haven't been wearing hats unless it's super, super cold or I'm gonna be out in the cold for a long time. And that really only happens, we haven't really gone on any hikes or anything lately, or a lot of walks. Like I said, things have been busy. And last weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, I can't believe that was just last weekend. This week has been so long. But last weekend we were at the farm, which of course we're outside a lot at the farm, but I don't want to wear my nice hand knit stuff. I have a headband. I actually do wear a hand knit, but it's a headband for my ears that I knit a long time ago out of some like acrylic wool blend. And that's one of like my farm things, so I don't mind if it gets dirty or if I have to take it off and put it on the ground if I get warm or whatever and it gets hay and stuff in it. It doesn't matter, but I don't want to bring something nice and new yeah, when I'm there. So I haven't really been wearing too many hats, and hopefully I get a chance to, because you know I do like to spend time outside. Just with work and traveling and seeing family, there just really hasn't been much of a chance, but maybe today I will get outside a little bit. But the other thing is that if I wear my hair in a ponytail, I don't like wearing beanies or hats over it. Then I wear like a ear headband so that my hair isn't like, so I don't have this big like weird lump in the back, or that I have really thick hair, so the hat then doesn't actually cover like my whole head because it's being pushed up by my hair. I know, it's just complaining, but I mean, not really. I guess I'm just describing when it is appropriate for me to wear hats versus like headbands. And speaking of headbands, this is my last finished object for today, at least that I can think of. I might have more sitting up there, I don't know. I'm not sure, like I said, what I've showed you and what I haven't. But this is a cabled headband that I made for my aunt. Whoops. She texted me a few weeks ago and asked if I'd be able to make her something to keep her ears warm. Specifically, she wanted a headband. So I picked out this cable from one of my Stitch dictionaries, and she wanted a cream color. So I had this really pretty undyed wool in my stash, and it's not merino. It's not like super soft, but it is pretty soft, and it's going to be really warm. And after I washed it in my Tuft Woolens, like the sock soap with the lanolin and stuff in it, it did soften up a little bit more. So I'm hoping she likes it. I kind of guessed on the length. I sort of wrapped it around my head as I was going to make sure it wasn't going to be too small. I actually think I probably could have knit it a little bit smaller. After it blocked, you know, the stitches sort of stretch out a little bit, and while it's not like loose, it's not really snug on the ears. So I might knit a second one, bring both of them to our family Christmas, and she can try them on and see which one she likes. And then if there is anybody else who would want the other one, I figured somebody might like it, so just give that one to them. But yeah, I knit it flat on a size 8 needle. I want to say this is like a worsted or an Aran weight, and I just did a mattress stitch here, So it's not too obvious. I kind of like how the cables, I mean, they don't completely match up. I wasn't really trying for that. I was mostly just trying for the length. But at least like this way you know where the back is. I kind of like that. I always look for the seam or the tag or the whatever to, you know, make sure I put, I don't know, the back. Even with this headband, which you can't really tell because it's just all fabric, there's a tiny little like line where the fabric, the pattern like changes, and I always put that to the back, even though it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I hope she likes that. And like I said, I'm hoping to get another one knit. I kind of would like, my family sometimes, like I knit for my mom. I've knit a couple things for some other like extended family members on my mom's side. This is my aunt on my mom's side. But sometimes I get people who ask for things and they're like, oh, I wish I could have this, I wish, but like I just don't have time to knit and like take requests from everybody. So part of me is like, I should just knit a bunch of hats, I should knit a bunch of headbands, just bring them to these family gatherings and just like put a bag of them down and say like, you know, either just take them or $5 a piece, I don't know, just something like that. Because I do get some requests and things like that sometimes. So, but anyway, I don't think I have time for that this year. So let's move on to works in progress. I have a few of these. The first one I'm going to show you, I might end up ripping this out, unfortunately. And I will explain why. I'm in the middle of a row, but that's okay. I was knitting this over the Thanksgiving weekend and stuff, and just sort of came to the conclusion that I didn't think I was going to have enough yarn. I'm knitting with Madeline Tosh. This is their Singles DK. I got this a long time ago. I knit another baby sweater out of this. Oh yeah, this is a baby sweater. And I had this left over. I don't even know if they make this base anymore or this color. Don't know what color it is. I know that they totally revamped like everything. I honestly don't really know what's going on with Madeline Tosh right now. I know they changed owners. The people who own Jimmy Bean's Wool bought Madeline Tosh. But I honestly don't know, like, are they discontinuing all their bases? Are they doing totally new colorways? Don't know. Don't really, I mean, I like Madeline Tosh, but I don't know. I don't really care at this point. We don't carry Madeline Tosh, so it's not like we're a wholesaler and I need to be concerned about that. It's just kind of like, okay, well, whatever they do, they do. But yeah, so this is the beginning of I think it's baby tea leaves or tiny tea leaves. I have it in a plastic sleeve, so let me just take this out here. Baby tea leaves. So I really like this pattern. I've knitted it quite a few times. So it has, there's like 3 versions of this: the baby tea leaves, the tiny tea leaves, and just the tea leaves, which is an adult. So it's like baby sizes, kid sizes, adult sizes. But I didn't weigh or measure how much I had of this. It looked like about 3/4 of a skein. I was like, oh, that's plenty to do a 0 to 6 month baby sweater. What I forgot about was that in these sections here, like, see how it's like ruching? You double the amount of stitches that you have, and you knit like 1.5 inches with double the amount of stitches. And then you decrease a bunch, and then you do it again. So I am using up much more yarn than I would with a regular sweater. I didn't really think about that. I was still kind of being a little optimistic as I was knitting, and thinking, well, maybe, see, I still have a lot. I can, you know, keep going. But I've barely started the body, and I have to do like 6 inches of the body. And then I have to come back and do sleeves. And even if I just did little capped sleeves, which was going to be my plan and not the full length, I don't know, I'm not sure if I want to waste the time and then realize as I get done with the body, like I'm running out for the body and then I can't do the sleeves and I have to rip it all out anyway. So I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to take it out. I set it aside after coming to that conclusion because I just didn't want to spend any more time on it. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but I might be able to find another pattern to do with this yarn, or I just won't be able to use it. It's just hard because you don't know how much is left. If it was a full skein, I'd have enough, I think, for the yardage amounts. Yeah, but that was, I sort of gambled and I just took it out of my stash and just started without really thinking. So that was my fault. But yeah, now, like, I'm kind of kicking myself because I'm thinking about all the stuff I could have gotten done in the meantime with that, but that's okay. All right. So that one's probably going to be taken off the needles. The next one I've been doing is another kid sweater. You know, I should prepare better for this because I don't remember what the name of this sweater is. But, and it looks really weird right now because it's still on a 16-inch circular. And this is like a size 4, I think, for a 4-year-old. So it's all like crowded on that 16-inch. But I'm splitting for sleeves in like one more row. So yeah, so I just sort of left it on there. I didn't want to have to go put it on a 24-inch and then come back to the 16-inch to do the body. So I just left it. I don't even have the pattern printed out to look at the name of it or to show you like a picture of the finished one because it's been on my phone. I keep forgetting to print it out, and then so I just have to keep looking at my phone, which I really don't like reading patterns off my phone. But what are you gonna do? I am knitting this for my godson for Christmas, and I'm knitting it out of the Barocco Ultra Wool DK in this like maroon color, which is really nice. I love working with this yarn. It's one of my favorites. You guys have heard me wax poetic about it many a time, but it's a great price point. It's 100% washable wool. It's not merino, but you know, it's not too bad, not too scratchy. And I am knitting, or I have this stored in my Knit Gizmo bag that I got during a Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted thing a couple years ago. So this is like a wool fabric on the outside, and it's got a pretty floral fabric there on the inside. So yeah, not much more to talk about that sweater because again, I don't know what the name of it is. I'll try and remember to put something at the bottom so that you guys know what it is, and hopefully I can show it to you. Hopefully it gets done, obviously, before Christmas, and then I can podcast again so I can show you the end result. But I'll definitely be talking about it on Vlogmas, so if you do want to see the progress of that sweater, check out the Vlogmas videos. And speaking of Vlogmas, the last work in progress I have is my Advent knitting, my Advent wrap. So I do have an Advent calendar this year, and I got the Homespun House Advent. I really, really enjoyed having an Advent a couple years ago and didn't have a hand-dyed Advent last year. I did have like a swap and exchange with some friends, but I kind of missed having the cohesive hand-dyed Advent, and so I ordered this one. I kind of treated myself. I am not really keeping up because it's just, I don't have time. It's too much knitting every night, and I'm also trying to do some other, projects, but I just started with the Day 6, December 6th colorway, So that means I have the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th to knit into my wrap. This is the Dust of Snow wrap by Helen Stewart. And I totally screwed it up last night as I was knitting Christmas movies on Netflix. As I was knitting Christmas movies, as I was watching Christmas movies, I assumed because this section down here, the first like pattern section that you're doing after this garter, is the same as the third one. I read the first line of, okay, so you have like, I have 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 pattern rounds. Because the first day, so this would be 5, I'm starting the 6th color, is just the garter. So I assumed that it was kind of the same pattern, just alternating. And then as I was knitting, I'm like, so I was just like reading my knitting and just remembering what I had done before. I'm like comparing it to the pattern. I'm like, this isn't right. Realized that I was supposed to do a totally different like pattern section. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it'll look weird if I haven't looked ahead enough, and I don't have like the picture anymore of the pattern. I should look it up. So I don't know if there's like an order that she does, and I'm not sure if it would look weird if I just go back to the pattern and follow that from here on out, or if I should just do what I've been doing, which is just alternating between these 2 stitch patterns. I'm not really sure. I don't think I mind not having the second, it's like a second eyelet pattern that's in there, and I don't think I mind not having that, but I don't know. So I'll take a look at the picture, see what I think, go from there, but I was not ripping it out. Like, I do not care that much to rip it out and have it look exactly like the pattern says it should. Just not worth it to me. So, and I have, let's see, I have my Sucra Miniatures Progress Keeper that's just kind of adorning my wrap, and that is a little iced ginger cookie, which is really cute. And I am housing this in my Cottage number 9 bag that I got last year. And I love this bag. The wintry theme is just amazing. And even though I usually just kind of keep it like this, it has this awesome feature where you can do the drawstrings and then you have handles. And the reason I don't often use it like this is because I keep this huge pattern, this really thick pattern inside of here like that, and so it doesn't really like want to close. So that's okay. I have been taking it to work every so often, doing a little bit of lunch break knitting, but see, I try to close it and it's just like, nope, not gonna allow that. But mostly this is, what I was saying is mostly this is a home project, especially as it gets bigger. I'm sure I'm just gonna keep it at home and work on it here. I'll show you quick today's Advent Mini. So that's really pretty. Yeah, and I just really enjoy opening those up every day. Okay, so those are all the works in progress and the finished objects. I'm gonna take a quick sip of coffee because I feel like even though it's been 34 minutes, I do feel like I was kind of going quickly through that and doing a lot of talking in a short amount of time. So now what I need to talk to you about is my horrible yarn habit. It's been 3 weeks, I think, and I have a lot of yarn to show you. Oh my goodness. I am going to start with a couple things we had at Knit Circus as a trunk show through November. I schedule trunk shows, and we usually do like monthly like mail-in trunk shows. So it's the dyer sends us a bunch, we keep it on display for about a month, and then we send back whatever we didn't sell, and we write them like a share of the money that we sold it for. So this month I kind of thought, I loved a lot of the stuff, but I kind of thought I was going to be able to resist the yarn. I was like, you know, I have so much yarn, blah, blah, blah. But I always get into this thing where as I'm packing up the yarn, I suddenly realize how much I like a certain colorway, or oh my gosh, I can't bear to part with this. I've been looking at it for a month, and you know, I've been able to resist it until I actually have to send it back, and then I have to buy some. So the first one I bought was one that I liked from the very start, and this is one of her Christmas colorways. This is called Christmas is Coming. I wasn't sure if it was Christmas is Coming to Town or Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I couldn't remember, but it's just Christmas is Coming. And the dyer is Sassy Songstress. And she's a fairly, I don't know if she's a new dyer, but she's a fairly like smaller indie dyer, and she's local to us. So her website is sassysongstressyarns.etsy.com. And songstress is all one word. Sassy is obviously, those are two different words, but and a lot of her colorways are named after songs, classic songs, or she had a couple like popular song names, and her bases are named after kind of like this is Crooner, the Crooner base, and she had the Warbler base and stuff like that. So yeah, kind of a fun theme. So yeah, this is just a really pretty, it's like a creamy yellow background color, and then the beautiful speckles. The speckles are what got me, really. I mean, look at those. That green and red, just really, really, really pretty. So I love Christmas, and I couldn't send this one back. The other one that I got almost on a whim, I was thinking about the fact that I really don't have many like small cowls that match a lot of stuff that I can just like throw on. Not for necessarily like warmth. I mean, they would keep me warm, but more of just as like an accessory or something. And there are so many cute patterns of just these little like neck gaiters with a little texture or a few eyelets or something, and I'm like, why don't I have any of those? So I saw this, and it was also something my mom was saying. She wanted maybe some more like neutral, like smaller cowls in neutral colors or solid colors, so she can wear them with a lot more of her clothes, because she loves wearing the cowls that I've made her. So I saw this and thought it would be good for either myself or my mom someday. And this is called Shaving Cream. Literally, it has like SHHH, Shaving Cream. It's also on her Crooner base, which is 80/20 merino nylon. It's a fingering weight, 400 yards, and that was the same as the Christmas is Coming colorway. And this is just a light gray, and it has, again, really, really great speckles of darker gray and brown and stuff like that. So I really liked that one. And I'm a sucker for neutrals. It was just such a pretty, I just didn't want to pack it up. I couldn't. So those came home with me. Around the same time, so end of November was Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that whole weekend here in the US, and I did not do much Black Friday shopping, proud to say. I mean, I don't know, I'm okay with like the deals, I guess, as long as you're like buying from places that you, I don't know, it's almost like buying responsibly in a sense. I'm not a huge fan of Amazon, I have to say, even though I will be having to order a few gifts from Amazon. I don't really like supporting the whole Cyber Monday Amazon thing because I think they're not the best company. But anyway, that's a totally different argument. But I'm okay with buying things from small businesses, and if you're gonna go out on Black Friday or you know, the Saturday after that is Small Business Saturday, you want to do some shopping, like, yeah, great. Like, these businesses count on these days to sort of like get the excitement and, you know, a reason, like, people are out and about and it's like, come to our shop, you know, maybe skip the mall or don't spend as much time at the mall or the big box stores, but come to that small business, the local bookstore, the yarn shop, the whatever, and, you know, maybe spend your money there. Rethink if you can buy it from a local source rather than online or from a big box store. But yeah, like, deals, like, obviously if you're gonna buy Christmas presents or something, yeah, like, take advantage of that. I think just buying responsibly is more important with that too. So yeah, sorry, went on that tangent, but so I was just saying, like, I didn't really do much shopping that weekend. I was with family and stuff, but I did go online, and I knew that one of my favorite indie dyers was having a sale. They only do one sale a year, and they have some really, really awesome hand-dyed fandom yarns, and that, of course, is Bumblebee Acres. I had in my mind a couple colorways I've been sort of like holding out on. Quite a few Bumblebee Acres skeins. I usually buy one or two at shows when I see them, and once in a while I'll order something if, you know, something I really, really fall in love with something. But I had a couple that I hadn't purchased yet. I had in my mind that I wanted them, and they didn't have all of the colorways in stock that I would have maybe bought, but one of them that they did was their Newt Scamander colorway. And this is obviously based on Newt Scamander, who's a character from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is an offshoot of Harry Potter, in case anybody doesn't know that. And Newt Scamander was a Hufflepuff. I'm also a Hufflepuff. If I were to go to Hogwarts, I would be in Hufflepuff House, which I'm very, very proud of. And he's an awesome character, and he was a Hufflepuff. So these are sort of the updated, like, classy. This reminds me of like a classy version of the Hufflepuff colorways. She's got some grays, some sort of dark gray and black, and that really nice yellow. And the grays almost have like a blue tint to them, which I really, really like. And this is on the Squishy DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. I think I'm going to do a cowl out of this. I would have gotten their sock yarn, either their Corriedale or they have a 75-25, I think, but they were out of it with this colorway. So DK is good. I'm really enjoying DK lately. I find myself being kind of drawn to it more and more. So yeah, that's Bumblebee Acres. And they are pretty much local to me. They live in Illinois, which is where I'm from originally. And I went to elementary school with a couple of the daughters. The oldest is a couple years younger than me, and I think her and I don't know if all of their kids, I think there's 4 of them. Yeah, there's 4 of them. I don't know if all of them went to the same elementary school or just the older 2, but obviously I would have been out of school by then, by the time the younger ones came to Zion Lutheran School, which is where I grew up in that school. So yeah, yeah, and I really have enjoyed getting to know them more. It's really, really fun to reconnect with people that, like, I kind of knew, but we weren't in the same grade, so we didn't always, like, see each other or get to know each other really, just when like all of the grades sort of came together. But I still like knew her enough to recognize her and her mom, and yeah, it's really, really cool how later on in life you sort of reconnect with these people, and it's been great getting to know them over the last few years. So if you guys are watching, because I know you do watch sometimes, hello, and thank you for the beautiful yarn. And it was great to see you the other day. They came and visited us at Knit Circus and sort of surprised us, and that was really, really fun. So yeah. Okay, so next I was contacted by Kayla of the Angora Moose. She is a dyer out of Minnesota, actually Zumbrota, Minnesota, which is, I used to teach a textiles camp up there. I used to teach knitting, and for like 3 years, 3 summers in a row, 4 summers in a row, I think, up in Zumbrota, Minnesota. So that was kind of cool to realize that she was from there. And I used to live in southeastern Minnesota, so I kind of feel like, yeah, it's from my home turf a little bit. But yeah, so she got in contact with me on Instagram and asked if she could send me some of her hand-dyed yarn. She dyes beautiful natural dyed yarns, and I jumped on the chance. She has some gorgeous colors, and I went on her website. She had just done like an update, and there were a few of her colors left. And I went on there and kind of messaged her some of the ones I really liked, and she sent me a beautiful package and a beautiful note with, it's just so uplifting and encouraging when you get like, I don't know, like beautiful words from somebody that you don't really know like personally, technically, but you follow them on Instagram and you message back and forth a little bit, and just to know, I don't know, to know that you have a friend out there, and that you've connected in a way, like it's just the coolest thing. So yeah, so I was so grateful to Kayla, and when I opened this package, I was floored. The first thing that I saw was this cute little mini skein. It's kind of a natural creamy color, but it has some yellows in it. It didn't have a tag, so I don't know what it was dyed with, but it's really, really soft and pretty. I'm probably going to put a square in my cozy memory blanket with this, and then save the rest for something. I'm not sure. I still have to figure out something to do with all my little leftovers from cozy memory blanket minis, because I don't always use up all of the yarn for that. So yep, so I got that little mini, and then she also sent this adorable project bag. Oh my gosh, it is so cute, and it's so like, I don't know, it's nice and like thick. It almost feels like a comfy quilt in a sense, even though it's not like quilted like on the actual bag, but it's like double layered and there's some padding in there. So it's got obviously the little bears and the Christmas tree. He's got a present. Then on the other side, his head's kind of cut off, but I think that's a moose or an elk or something. But the trees and the snow, oh, it's just so pretty. I love it. And it's got this little plaid on the top, which is really nice. It's a nice drawstring. And I think this is big enough to house my Christmas Eve cast on, which is exciting. I think that would be a really cute little festive bag to house my Christmas Eve cast on socks. So I'm excited about that. And then, I opened the yarn, and look what she sent me. So I love blues, and I told her that, and I had pointed out a couple of the blues that she had on her site, and she sent me a couple of those. So in her note, she said I could keep what I wanted, give away what I wanted. I still haven't decided exactly what I'm doing with the yarn, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to keep this one. This one is called Riverbend, and there's something about the twist, the ply, the look at how, I thought this was a sport weight at first, or a DK, but it's technically supposed to be a fingering weight. I think it probably could knit up as like a sport weight because it's just so lofty. And the blue is just so delicate. I am in love with it. It's so soft. It's 100% merino. So I'm not going to knit socks with it. I think it's just too fluffy. It would make beautiful socks, I'm sure, but I think I want to do something a little bit more like for my neck or something like that. It's so soft. So soft. So this one, I think I have to keep it. This is mine. This is going to be mine. But the other two, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. This one is called Christmas Sky, and it's on Simple Sock, which is 75/25 merino nylon. There's 415 yards. Oh, I forgot to mention, these are both dyed with logwood and iron, so both of the blues. It's just like, I'm sure there's a difference between like how different bases take dye, and then I know like if you do a first batch, like the color can be, especially with natural dyes, I think you can do a first batch, it gets really saturated, and then you can take it out and do like a second batch and get like a lighter color. And I don't know if that's what she did with this, or if it's just the different bases taking the dye differently, but this one is much darker, but it's really, really pretty. And yeah, I love that dark blue. This, I think, was another one that I actually pointed out to her that I really liked. I gave her a couple options. And then, yeah, so not sure what that one is going to be, or if it'll be a prize or what. But then she sent me this one, which is called Antler. And this one's dyed with walnut, and it's the most beautiful brown. And it's on Smooth Sock, which is a 2-ply 80/20 merino nylon, 400 yards. And you guys know how much I love a 2-ply 80/20. So I really don't know what to do. I love the color, I love the yarn, I love all of them, but at the same time I feel like I need to at least choose one to do a giveaway with or something. And then she also sent a little cute progress keeper that looks like a little plate, like a little china plate or saucer or something like that. So I kept that clipped on there. But yeah, I was just blown away by this beautiful yarn. Thank you, Kayla. I so appreciate it. And when I finally decide which one of these I can part with, I will let you guys know, and we might do a YouTube giveaway because I have over 600 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I think there's close to like 630 now, which is just crazy and amazing. And I'm so happy that so many people are wanting to click and subscribe. So if you are one of those new subscribers, thank you. So I might do a giveaway for that. But yeah, that was awesome. So cool. I felt so special that she wanted to send me yarn. Okay, very last thing. This just happened yesterday, and oh my gosh, I'm still like sort of reeling about it. But we had our Christmas or holiday party at Knit Circus yesterday. So I was working and helping host that, and that was really, really fun. We had a really big Oink Pigments trunk show at the shop. We carry their Yarn of the Month Club, but I think we're going to start kind of wholesaling some of their other yarns because we bought some of their stuff they had left so we can keep it in the shop. But yeah, people could come to the party. We had all of their yarns available there, and the dyer, one of the dyers behind Oink Pigment was there too, so that was really fun to be hosting her. And of course we were all looking and oogling and drooling over yarn all day. My coworker and my boss, Bug, who now owns Knit Circus, she bought quite a bit too. That's a teaser. Yeah, I bought quite a bit of yarn. But but you know, I'm working some overtime and it's paying for the yarn. I'm giving that, even though it's Christmas and I should be paying for other stuff, but this was my Christmas present to myself. I'm just going to say that. So she bought a couple sweaters quantity, I think, for one for her, one for her husband, and I ended up buying a sweaters quantity as well. So I was hemming and hawing a lot about what I wanted. I really wanted this one base, their new DK base, which is called Mystic. It's 100% merino. It's 230 yards and it's like extra fine. So when I first felt this, I thought there was cashmere in it or silk or something, but it's just 100% merino and it's utterly amazing. I finally decided to get this beautiful greenish teal. It's like teal, but it almost has an emerald green look to it. And I got 6 of these. So I'm gonna make a sweater. Not sure which one. I have a couple ideas. The Hard Cider by Thea Coleman is like high on the list. I think I might make that one. But yeah, so I have my bag full of this beautiful color. It's called That's Amore, but Amore is not spelled like the Italian. They do a lot of like puns and things with like different names. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, so that was my big purchase yesterday. I also got a skein of this. I have this colorway on some spinning fiber that I still have from TNNA when we went over the summer, but I also got this on Mystic. I absolutely love this color. It was one of their colors that they brought out last summer to kind of help support women's reproductive rights, and it is called Standing Ovulation, which again is super punny, but it's this beautiful gray base and it has these bright speckles on it, and I just absolutely adore it. I was being drawn to this color on pretty much all of their bases. I loved it when I saw it over the summer. I haven't spun with it yet, but I plan to, hopefully someday. And I wanted at least one skein. So again, not sure what this will be. Some sort of accessory. Ooh, maybe like wrist warmers or something. That would be fun. I haven't knit hand warmers or fingerless gloves a long time, and I actually kind of like had the urge to not too long ago. So that would be super fun. Then I could just stare at this color all the time if it was on my hands. So I love that. Yeah, we also bought more of this color to keep in the shop. She had quite a few skeins of it on the Mystic base, and so we like bought wholesale to carry. So if you guys like this too, you can come to Knit Circus and buy a skein of it on this beautiful, super soft base. All of the yarn we bought from them to wholesale is the Mystic base, so we were just in love with it. Everyone who came in, we were like, you guys gotta feel this. It's amazing. It's the softest yarn I've ever felt. Yeah. So those were my 2 purchases, and then before Helena packed up and left, I also had to purchase this beautiful roving. So they do dye roving. This is a Targhee 100% USA made superwash Targhee. It's 4 ounces, and this one is called Be Steel My Heart, and steel is S-T-E-E-L, and it was a June 2019 special colorway for a yarn shop in Detroit, I want to say, which is why the steel is in there. But it also reminded me of the show, if any of you have watched this show, called Remington Steele. It was in the 70s and 80s, I want to say, and it's like a really kitschy detective show with a very young Pierce Brosnan before he was 007. Just gotta say, he is quite charming in that show. And my roommate Amanda and Amanda's the one who introduced it to me. She really likes like classic movies and classic shows and kind of lesser known TV programs and stuff. And she had like all of the seasons of Remington Steele, and they do a lot of like the like trying to be kind of like noir, like there's a, you know, the main character is a lady detective, and she's trying to make her way in a man's world, and there's a lot of like, I don't know, it's kind of like your typical kitschy, yeah, like, yeah, it's just really cool. But they do plays on, like, the names of the episodes are plays on Steele a lot of the time, like, you know, stealing something, or Be Steal My Heart. I'm pretty sure that's the name of an episode. So it just made me think of that. And I love the colors. That like dark blue. It looks black, but it's really dark blue. It's almost like a purpley blue, and the yellow. And I ended up getting, because I have no control whatsoever, and I also got a discount, not gonna lie. I got a discount on all of the Oink pigments. So that helped. That's the reason why I bought yarn and fiber. I bought 3 of these because I'm like, ooh, 3 of them, if I spin it like a DK, which is usually what I spin at, like a DK sport weight, I can get like 200 yards out of each. Well, that's like almost like a worsted, I suppose. So worsted to DK, I can get about 200 yards out of 100 gram. If I spin a little bit thinner, I can get like 250 to 300, and with 3, that is a lot of yarn. I can do a big shawl or like a big project of some sort, which is really exciting. So yeah, so I decided, why not? It's Christmas and I get a discount. So that came home with me too. Now, that's it. Don't worry. That's all. I promise. Over the last 3 weeks, that's all the yarn I have acquired. But now I just have this desperate urge to like go through my stash, figure out what I want and what I don't want anymore. Honestly, I still want almost all of it. I can guarantee you. There's a few things that I'm like, oh, I could part with that. But I love my stash so much. But I just want to knit. Like, I see all the yarn sort of piled in my closet, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have to knit. I have to knit. I have to knit it all. So I just need to get through some projects. I need to focus. I need to spend less time on social media, because I also feel like I say that, I'm like, oh, I just need to knit all night tonight, and then I spend like an hour on social media, and I'm like, what am I doing? So yeah, today it's just after 2 o'clock because I've been talking for about an hour, and so I was looking at my lights covering the little time clock on the top of my phone. So I've been talking about an hour. I'm gonna clean all this up, and then I'm gonna keep knitting. Every spare moment, knit. And I'm gonna try not to buy more yarn because Christmas. So yeah. I think that's it. I am looking around. I talked about all my projects. I talked about all my yarn. I've just somehow find space for all that new yarn now. If only I could just knit constantly and had many hours in the day to get more done. I also need to put up my Christmas tree today, which I'm very excited about, and maybe go for a walk. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming back if you are a longtime viewer. And if you are a new viewer, cheers. Thanks for subscribing and coming and clicking on my video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you're just watching this for the first time, or maybe you've watched a few and you just haven't gotten around to hitting that button, please do so. It gets my podcast out to more people who might like the same things that you do. If you give it a big thumbs up as well, that helps. Or put a comment underneath. The more interaction that the podcast gets, the more people will see it. So thank you so much for doing any of that. And if you want to if you want to just keep watching my face and keep hearing my voice, go check out Vlogmas. I have quite a few episodes up, one for every day of December. Obviously today's isn't up yet. This probably won't go up today, maybe tonight, but yeah, but I will have 8 to 9 episodes up by the time you watch this for Vlogmas, so enjoy those. And again, like the episode, hit subscribe, leave a comment, that'd be great. And I will talk to you all really, really soon. Probably literally right after I hit stop, I will film for Vlogmas. So literally in a few minutes, I will be talking to you again. And yeah, a new full-length podcast will probably go up in another couple of weeks if I have time, so before Christmas. If not, then I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or just a wonderful December. Even if you're not a Christmas person, a Christmas celebrator, or another religious holiday, the festive spirit just kind of makes you happy anyway. So at least it does for me. I love the lights, I love the colors, I love the music. I guess the music is kind of more specific to those certain holidays, but still, I mean, there's just happiness in the air, it feels like. So I'm hoping we get a little bit of snow so we have a white Christmas. I think we will. It's going to start getting colder again, and we might get a little bit of snowfall. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you want to participate in the Cal, head on over to Ravelry. Otherwise, I'll talk to you very soon. In the meantime, do things that make your heart happy. I will be doing the same. Be kind to one another, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.